This is a picture of what we call the slow medicine system. 11 years in the making, and we will be discussing this in every leg as we go through the talk. Basically, there are three legs derived from the book Slow Medicine, written by a good friend of ours, Dr. Michael Finkelstein, and it calls for balance in the five pillars of well-being. It's a personal lifestyle, the most advanced state-of-the-art computer system in the cloud developed over the last 11 years, and then a delivery system, what we call mentors for well-being, which we will get into. Okay, so when you go in the Kaiser Permanente, this is the only thing that the doc sees. This is your electronic health record. In fact, I know this is legit because it's mine. That's why we kept it small. And this is like a table of contents. This is like a card file, okay? And so in 2 years from now, when Kaiser uses our system, the screen will look like this. There's the electronic health record again. But this is like, for example, a neighborhood in fact, Oakland, where the dark blue is scored from 1 to 25, which is the worst health scores. The light blue is where the patient lives, which is 25 to 50. The light green is 51 to 75, which is good. And then the dark green is the best, okay? Down here, it is where a person works, has worked, is working, clearly. So let's go on. This did not happen overnight. When I completed my career at UC Berkeley, this is the story, I guess. Many of you have seen the book In Spirit of Fiat Lux. And 15 years in the making, and I was on a speaker's tour. And I was saying, what the hell am I going to do with the rest of my life? I don't know if you faced that issue. And so as I was traveling in the speaker's tour, there were some really distinguished friends. In fact, the number 2 guy at the United States Department of Health and Human Services, he'd go to the White House if the secretary couldn't make it. He and other colleagues were saying, healthcare is collapsing. We must get people to take health into their own hands. And starting from 11 years ago, this group is what we call the enterprise crew. And of course, I'm the captain. I'm Captain Kirk. See that right there? Everybody gets a character. It was basically, no one has ever been paid for 11 years. The Donohues invested $350,000 in the early days, which mostly everything we tried early didn't work. Okay. But in addition to the working crew, we also had a Starfleet Academy. Okay. Medical doctor, PhD in computer science from Emeryville. One of my oldest friends at Berkeley, doctor of public health. Okay. This is the guy who would go to the White House. This is the author of the book. This whole layer of people are medical doctors, scientists, and they advise. When a question comes up, we say, okay, what do we do next? But check this out. There's Chris. This is people from our club who have already helped. I just asked, Chris, 6 months ago, she puts me in touch with the number 1 guy in the federal government in charge of job classifications. Okay. Lynn Kennedy, about 6 months ago, says, Brian, Polio Plus is going to run out. I wonder if your program could be the next Polio Plus. So thanks a lot, Lynn. So he's sitting over there, put a red mark on his forehead. So that got us thinking, why not? Let's continue. If it was a Rotary program, Could it be the next Polio Plus? Okay, let's press on. Okay. I'm going to ask Kathy to come up, and Mark. How do we make this? It's a for-profit corporation. We incorporated, and Mark, come on up. And I'm going to ask Kathy, is this an official, certified, signed, stamped stock certificate representing 2.5 million shares in this company?
This definitely is.
Okay, and you may present this to Mark. Okay, and now a third of this company belongs to the endowment. And Mark will now explain what that means.
Good morning. This is not a unique, but it is a rather special way of having a company make a commitment to providing financial resources. It's going to be a long-term situation. But as the company ramps up and the stock, which currently now has no value, okay, right. Longer to Sunrise will essentially have, is it 1/3? 1/3 of the stock. So what this means is that will be in our endowment. And again, long-term, but as that begins to increase in valuation, that will provide us with additional resources that our club can then use for our programs and projects. So we'll be in a situation, again, this will be down the road, where we'll be able to actually draw upon those resources and do more great work in our community, and hopefully be participating in more global grants for service projects around the world. So it is not common, but it is, I think, is a great dedication by Brian to do this, because when you think about it, going down the road, he is actually foregoing the opportunity for a major tax deduction, because of course you can only base a tax deduction upon the valuation of something. So if you waited until
What? Wait a minute.
Okay. Well, no. Okay. No. No. But if he waited until this was worth $100 a share, then he can make a very substantial tax, get a tax deduction, or the business would get a business deduction. So anyway, this is something that I just think is really, really interesting. I think it's very, it's very forward-looking by Brian, and something that, as a member of the endowment board, I'm looking forward to, paying attention to and hopefully working with in the not too distant future. So Brian, thank you very much. We appreciate your generosity.
Sure. Thank you. So the question is, why did I do this? Remember the speaker with the Seahawks 2 weeks ago? He brought the Navy SEALs in to the team. Remember what he said? He said, heart to build a team, experience and know-how. And the need is real simple. I guess I'm a hyper specialist. The talent we have here in this room and the others who are visiting us defies description. And to build a program that would be worldwide, we need that talent. And we can't, I won't pay for it. Plus, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Our kids are all raised and out. We've been around the world to multiple Rotary International conventions. So this is something that's really fun. And this is something just like cleaning the creek or anything else that we do. That's the way I look at it. So, okay. So let's get into it. Okay. Leg one is balancing the 5 pillars. I guess to make things interesting, you can ask yourself, do you have balance? Let me tell you what I do. On the physical, from 10 o'clock to 10:50, Monday through Friday, I'm in a senior exercise class by Zoom. My commute is I turn my machine. Also starting with Tommy. We know Tommy, the chiropractor. I've reconnected with him. I've got actually Japanese magnets. That's why I'm so good looking. Like John, I'm good, right? Okay. So do you have balance, physical, environment? I probably spend an hour every day in our garden with my hands in the dirt. It's not a big garden, but it's got everything. Social. Let's ask ourselves, what do I do to be social in a group? Okay. Spiritual, I'm in every Saturday morning at 7:30, I'm in a small Zoom group. It's a Christian group, but basically we talk about what's it like to have face the problems of a parent. I don't know about you guys, but we got some issues. Siblings, kids, grandkids, you know. Now we decided to skip the emotional part because you guys can talk to Dylan about that. Now let's talk about the second leg, which is the computer system. Okay. It's real simple conceptually. If you take the 5 pillars and you put it through all the data that's out there in the world, and you can display it in an easy to use chart like this, I can see that this person right here needs to work on physical. Takes one eyeball, 1 second look. Okay. So now let's go back. This is the first screen I showed you, but I wanted to point out one thing for those of you who might ask this. On the left-hand side is governed by HIPAA. We do not use personally identifiable medical information or data, so therefore HIPAA does not apply. We are broken field running hits. If there's a demand, this system can apply it, and it's not chained down by HIPAA. Okay, so if you take the toggle switches and you go down one, this is my next level of detail in my electronic health record. This is the next level of detail on the social for this particular individual. Oh gosh, the light's flashing. It's down on physical. Oh my gosh, there's a problem. Okay. This is taken from the original medical scanner from Star Trek. That's absolutely it. Okay. So you go down one more. These are actually, so let's take the example of a low score in physical. This is an actual display of the 7 data sets that make up. What we do is we take the raw data and we put it through our trade secret algorithms and we normalize it so it's useful. So we got a problem with lead in the water. There's the light flashing. What's that all about? Well, here's another way to think about it. What we're doing is we're building a cake with federal data, state, county. This is all free data. Okay. Then you take a test tube, you invert the test tube and you shove it down the cake at one zip code. You pull out the zip that you put it on the screen. Does anybody recognize that? Those are apples from White Pony Express. What's our job at White Pony Express? To go into the box of apples and pull out the rotten ones. Same concept. Because let's say this lead in the water doesn't show up in federal, doesn't show up in state, it only shows up in the city. We'll catch it by going through all levels of data. Okay. Now we can also use artificial intelligence, and when the person tells us what their, what the frequent symptoms by occupation for trial lawyers: burnout, fatigue, anxiety, mental health, being a jerk. Yep. And the doc can figure, okay, you're a jerk. Let's figure out what do jerks do. Okay. Now, this is my favorite one to talk about. This is our delivery system, Mentors for Wellness. Why? Is because that, ladies and gentlemen, is our daughter, combat surgical nurse in Iraq. Rank of captain. She's seen it all. So she's now head nurse, and she calls us 2-3 months ago, and Dad, I am sick of it. I send my patients out to every service that they need. They come back, they're the exact same as they were when I sent them. So Molly took a year and took this person, Emily, and went to housing, medical, psychiatric. And she said, hey, I can teach people to do that. But it's not just being a mentor like a rah-rah cheer. knack. They get the knack. They're navigators, they're advocators, and they're coordinators. What is she also doing? She's recruited medical students and pre-med students. We're going to now give them our data system to equip them, but they need wheels on the ground. They need boots on the ground. Who's better at that than Rotarians? Molly's executive director won the Rotarian of the Year award in our club. So we're working away, and I get a call from who else? The United States government. We want you. I go, you know that routine from Saturday Night Live, Bill Murray? What are you talking about? You know, what's he talking about? We want the best of the best, and we're going to make you better. So in the sprint of 2023, they tested whether our system could work at the bedside. This is the Census Bureau, Commerce, and the Food and Drug Administration. In 24, we were invited back whether social determinants could really improve communities. And that was, again, Census, BOMP, and Harvard Business School, okay? We applied for a $101 million prize. Let me repeat that. If we had won, we would have won 101 million. Did someone just say if? Okay, we didn't win. Even while there were 52 countries and 100 competitors, I still think I did a poor job of applying. But this is what the International Board of Judges wrote in their evaluation of us. The application addresses a critical need in healthcare by connecting the social determinants with health outcomes through an integrated platform, computer platform, that serves multiple stakeholders, including providers, that would be healthcare providers, public health officials, social workers, researchers, and patients themselves. Quote, SDIS is scalable, accessible, and could be transformative to care and policy. Okay, so this is Dr. Tim from the beginning. He is buying a home in Puerto Rico, and this is at the faculty club at Berkeley in Puerto Rico. Delin and I had a wonderful visit with Roberto and his wife. He wants to open this going into Costa Rica. We do it through the Rotary clubs there, one club at a time, okay? I'm just about done, but this is going to be the fast part. What are the social determinants of health? It's all this stuff that is real gray and soft, and everyone thought it was useless. Could we measure it? Hell yeah. Here's the facts. Here's what we're up against. Close to 20% of our gross national product goes into health. We are aging. It's nearly 79 years. An article came out this morning from the Census Bureau. 11 states have more seniors, 65 and over, than human beings between the ages of 1 and 18. The old population is overcoming the young population, okay? Clearly, 50% of health is the social factors. Why is it drive me freaking nuts? Is because the data is all there, but it's all siloed. They never connect it. Where do you live? What do you do for work? So what we're simply doing is we're plugging the pie for decision-making. Healthcare spending continues to skyrocket. Oh yeah, this came out 6 months ago. While health outcomes in the United States, spending is skyrocketing, but health outcomes are the worst compared to other wealthy countries. You don't think Rotary can do something about this? Hell yeah. Okay. 300 groups asked for Congress to have an infrastructure. We have no infrastructure. This one kills me. Data does not flow freely between the payers, insurance companies, the providers, the healthcare providers, members and patients, community resources that can fix it. Okay. So we are not ending this, baby. We are just beginning the fight. We will fight them on the beaches, on the landing fields. We will never surrender. So if you want to join this is no cakewalk. This is, but Rotary, I think, has the power. But frankly, I'm not smart enough. I need help with that. Just ask the Lynn. So this is where we are today. We put out an RFP for the software development company to program and build the beta. Okay, and we have people working on that. Very, very promising. The build time is about 6 months to go beta. We're strategizing with our investors and our people at Berkeley. We're staffing control groups like mentioned San Juan, and we'll be doing control groups in Alameda County and Contra Costa County. So why am I presenting this guy? You guys, is to volunteer support for individual Rotarians. There's no obligation, whatever, from anyone. There's no solicitation, forget about it. Worldwide Rotary project, very slowly, very deliberately. And so is this the next Polio Plus? So there will be another follower to Polio Plus. Where will it happen? And when will the next project following Polio Plus begin? Well, it could be where and when? Today. And I'm done. Whoop. Questions? Sorry if I went fast. Anybody, please, I'm always going to be around. You can always talk to me anytime, any place about anything. Okay, John, please go ahead.
Having just seen this for the first time, it's very, very interesting. My impression is it's a little bit more complicated than it looks on the surface. If I were trying to explain it to somebody for the first time, what would be my elevator speech?
That's a great question. This is my elevator speech. Okay. And that is, if you go into Kaiser today, all you're going to get is your electronic health record. In 2 years, it's going to be supplemented by the social health record, which is gun violence, suicide rates, transportation, clean air, clean water, school system, park coverage, food deserts. All of that makes up social. Okay, I got to get off it. I'm at my floor. That's the elevator part, John. Okay, Bradley, catch up. Gee, you guys, he asked for an elevator speech. Okay. Anybody else? It's a little bit overwhelming. I appreciate that.
Well, if no one else is going to ask, I'll ask this because I will say I am still confused.
Good.
And the
So am
thing
I.
I'm confused mostly, what is the deliverable that you're hoping to produce? What is
This morning at this club,
No, I mean, ultimately, what is this going to, 10 years, 20 years from now, when this is all old hat?
that this system runs all over the Rotary world.
Well, the system and was it?
In other words, let's take.
How is it going to be accessed?
What country, Skip, what country are you guys in again? Okay, Guatemala. There will be some sort of, now it'll be decades from now. The medical people will have a health record on people, blood, this kind of stuff. If they don't have any social factors, we can send a team in and collect whatever available data there is for that country. We bring in the whole person. The whole person is not just the electronic record. It's
delivered to whom? How?
Okay, well, by the 3 pillars. Can someone hold up give that to Rich, please. Kathy, thank you. Duh, Richard, this is a little toy for guys like you.
Okay,
It's
what
got
do I
3
do with
legs. Oh, right now, the only thing I'm asking is if you want to be part of this, come up to me sometime and say, yeah, I'd like to help. That's all I need. And,
Okay, sure.
every one of us have, the thing that impresses me about our group is that we have such talent, such experience. And, oh, great. Okay, Robert,
Brian,
go
let me
ahead.
help you. So Brian and I have been discussing the project for a while now. One of the things I consider is, where is it going? How do you see it helping others in the future? I think about Flint, Michigan.
Go
If
ahead.
we would have had this earlier,
There you go.
we would have been able to see that, prevent it, do something about it, allocate funds from the government, be able to, first of all, identify the issue, identify that it's involved in more than one person. It's not one child. It's not just a family or a couple of people. It's literally an entire community, a county, a city. So all of a sudden the city can allocate funds. So there's doctors could have been more responsive, would have been able to treat everybody, accordingly rather than taking a shot in the dark. So I think it brings all the information together to help us to, just help larger groups of people rather than the one individual that walks into the office. If we see that and we see patterns, which the platform will be able to indicate, identify, of course, we can get on things a lot sooner, change lives, help, funding in terms of food deserts. There's a lot of education, right? Where are we having large gaps in terms of who's falling through the cracks? I think this system can help with that. And then, of course, how are they eating? They haven't been educated. How financially, how are they becoming a burden on the system? So I think it's able to help the entire system, communities, states, counties, and the government funding and allocation of it to be more efficient and effective.
To Rich, medical doctors want this system. This guy, Dr. Tim, if it's like a lawyer going into a trial, you don't want to know everything there is to know about the case before you go into a trial. Hell yeah, you do. And doctors want to know not just the person sitting there, but where do they come from? What makes up their condition? And the thing is, remember, it's 5 pillars. It's emotional, mental. It's not just physical. It's what we call well-being. Okay, Michael, you got last question?
I do. We already know often where food deserts are. We already know that there's a mental health issue with people living on the streets. What I don't see is where's the money going to come from? There's a lack of funding for all this. This is going to kind of quantify an awful lot of things we already know, but don't even take care of on a little basis of knowledge. This would just expose how much more we aren't taken care of.
Well,
and, I don't see how it's going to really change anything
we will have
unless there's a big funding
it grounded in data, hard data. If I go into a trial, you don't think I want hard data?
I think you want hard data.
And we can provide hard data. And again, this is not for everybody. Anybody who doesn't want to be involved with that, that's okay. But for people who want to be part of this, then come talk to me. And again, there's no rush to anything. I need to yield the podium. Rich, you want to say the last thing?
We have something for you.
Yeah.
For me?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Brian,
you're going to hit me with it?
Right? No. This is an artificial arm. You understand that part, right?
Hey, I was here the night we tried to put this together, and
I know it's very.
You flubbed it.
I know. But hey, it works. It's all over the world, and we're going to be giving one in your name somewhere on this planet. All right.